Your new BBQ is built to cook memorable food with incredible flavour for years and years. But to keep your Q looking and performing at its best, there's a small amount of regular maintenance that's required. Let me show you a few simple things you can do to ensure your Q stays looking great and cooks as well as it did the very first time you used it. It's a good idea to clean the grill every time you cook. By scraping the grill bars clean with a Weber grill brush before you cook, you'll make sure you don't end up with residue from your last meal on your food. It's really easy. So, before you cook, just preheat your Q for 10 minutes with the lid closed. Now that your grill is hot, you can scrape off anything left on the grill. To remove any excess grease from the top of the grill, use a pair of long-handled tongs with a damp cloth or some paper towel, like this. I'd also recommend you check the disposable aluminium fat tray each time you use your BBQ. If your drip tray has a full layer of fat in it, like this, it's best to change it over. Just slide the catch pan out to the side, remove and dispose of the aluminium drip tray, and replace it with a new one. It's that simple. It's also really important to regularly clean the inside of the cooking box of your BBQ to make sure it's clear of fat and solid debris. Solid food residue, grease, and fat will build up in the cooking box with use. And if you don't take a little time to clear the build up regularly, one day you're likely to see all that grease and fat catch fire. It's not something you need to do every time you cook, but you should regularly check to see if anything is collected in the cooking box. Once every 4 or 5 times you use the BBQ as a good guide. If you notice a build-up of food residue and grease, you should remove it before you use the BBQ again. Don't worry, it's really easy to keep the cooking box clear. When the BBQ is cold, all you do is remove the 2 cooking grills, and using a plastic putty knife like this one, remove any built-up food residue, grease, and fat by scraping it into the disposable drip tray below. When you're done, remove and throw away the used drip tray and replace it with a new one. While you've got the grills out of your Q, it's a great time to give them a good clean. Pop them into hot soapy water in a laundry trough, sink, or plastic tub, and give them a quick scrub with a nylon scourer, top and bottom. They don't need to be spotless, but it's a good way to make sure the underside of your grill is free of greasy residue, which will help keep your burners clean. Speaking of burners, while the grills are out of your BBQ and after you've cleaned the cooking box, it's the perfect time to brush over your burner tube to make sure there's no grease or debris blocking any of the holes. Just use a clean wire brush back and forth across the burner tube. If there are any stubborn blockages, a metal paper clip will do the job of clearing them. Before you put the grills back into your Q, make sure you dry them well. There's additional safety and maintenance information in your owner's guide, so please make sure you read it carefully. And if you follow these few simple steps, you'll keep your Q working perfectly for years. But what about keeping your Q looking great? Weber has thought of that too. You see, most Q owners love the look of their BBQ and want to keep it looking its best. And the easiest way to do this is to clean it regularly. So Weber's developed a unique cleaner that should keep your BBQ looking great year after year. The BBQ cleaner is best used often to keep your Q in excellent condition. With its gentle cleansing properties, it's perfectly suitable to be used every day. But I recommend that you use it every 4 or 5 barbecues, or to clean up any greasy spills. It's a great general purpose cleaner, so use it on your trolley too. Try not to let your lid get much dirtier than this, or it could be quite difficult to clean. Spray the lid evenly and leave the cleaner to sit as long as required. The BBQ must be cold when you're applying the cleaner. 5 to 10 minutes is suitable for light soiling, but allow up to 60 minutes for heavier build-up. Use a wet microfiber cloth and wipe the lid clean. And here's a tip. Sometimes when removing meat, drippings can fall onto your lid. These must be removed before the BBQ is used again. If not, they can bake on and become almost impossible to remove. When cleaning the inside of your lid and bowl, spray a heavy covering of foam all over. Leave it from 60 minutes to up to 4 hours, depending on the level of smoke and grease. Clean with a wet nylon scourer and rinse. So remember, if you clean and maintain your BBQ, it should give you many years of trouble-free barbecuing. But if you do have any issues, please don't hesitate to call Weber Customer Service in Australia or New Zealand.